Fort Frontenac has fallen. That was merely our principal supply base for the whole of the upper country. How could this happen? Now, how shall we hold the West?
The news from Fort Frontenac is bad enough, but even worse reports come from the East Coast. Canada's critical port on the Atlantic, Louisbourg, is falling to the British. Under heavy fire, Brigadier General James Wolfe leads his troops ashore. For 6 weeks, British and American forces lay siege to the heavily fortified city. The death knell comes when British sailors sneak into the harbor and destroy the last French battleships in Canada. The French have no choice but to surrender. The fall of Louisbourg is a turning point in the French and Indian War. If France can't halt the British advances, the loss of Canada may indeed be imminent. But there is still one place where the British have made no progress at all. The western frontier, where this war began 3 years earlier. Dozens of Indian nations coexist in eastern North America. For a century and a half, the French have traded with and fought beside many of them. Now, in this war against the English to determine who will control North America, maintaining the loyalty of those Indian allies is the only hope for France. He is anxiously awaiting reinforcements, 1,000 regulars and 1,000 Indians. But they don't arrive in time.
To the quick time, march!
Just after noon, the highly disciplined Redcoats march uphill toward the French entrenchment, supported by American provincials. Montcalm's improvised defense proves remarkably effective.
The ground was strewed with the dead and dying. A man could not stand erect without being hit, for the balls came by the handful. And I could hear the men screaming and see them dying all around me.
The attacks carry on all day. The carnage continues for nearly 8 hours. The formidable Scottish Highlanders are the only British forces to get near the French wall, but even they can't prevail. Before it's over, the British and provincials will lose nearly 2,000 dead or wounded. Montcalm's casualties are only 380. Once again, the British discover that overwhelming numbers alone are not enough to produce a victory.
Quel beau jour pour la France.
Without Indians and almost without Canadian or colony troops, I have beaten an army of 25,000. This glorious day does infinite honor to the valor of our battalions. Ah, what soldiers are ours. I have never seen the like.
Montcalm's far smaller force has driven the huge British army into a headlong retreat. After the battle, French soldiers find the shoes of British soldiers stuck in the mud. The redcoats were running so fast, they didn't even stop to retrieve them. But Montcalm's stunning victory is shallow. Without more men and supplies from France, he can't pursue the British. The Marquis sends urgent pleas for help, but he hears little in response.